Hey guys, and welcome to our first post FX17 video. This is the first of our Frontier Expo coverage videos. It will be a little bit like our trailer analysis videos. We will watch all gameplay that was shown at the expo of Planet Coaster, and after that we will watch it again with you and talk a little bit about it. So let's watch the video and see you after that.
So I just wanted to point out that Planet Coaster has added mantling before PUBG, which I think is fantastic. And break rooms are great. It was one of the features that I thought the game was missing at launch.
Wait, so are guests gonna back up when they're gonna jump out? So because they're always showing the mantling thing when there's no guests in front. Are they gonna have guests go into a special state where they back up, or are they just gonna have the vendor karate kick his way through all the guests? Or
That's actually a very good question.
I really hope that he just vaults over people's heads, just throws himself in, just whee! I want Trailer Park Boys level of. Can
I just point out one quick thing? How excited I am that they just did our idea, which was just give vendors energy and just make them walk around and have to rest. It's literally what we did in our video.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny because there are a lot of things we suggested in the video.
One thing I want to point out is how the vendors actually swap over. Is it going to be to the case that if a vendor doesn't kind of replace the one that's fatigued and needs to go to the staff room, the shop might actually close.
Someone else will cycle in, basically. So you can actually hire vendors like janitor style. You just drop them on the ground and they'll go to shops that need a
Yeah, that's what I got from the video too. Because there's one scene where a vendor walks up to another vendor who's working, and then they swap places. And then there's one where there's a vendor who's working, and he's like, "Screw this, shoot him out!" And then he just goes.
So one thing I really hope that they take into account is we're going to be able to make these behind this like backstage areas now with you know, the rest areas for the vendors to go into, and I'm wondering if peeps are going to have awareness of those areas, and I don't want guests to go through them. So we need to beg for some sort of like
employee only path or something.
Yeah. It's going to like really scream the need for it at this point. Maybe it could be. Maybe this is like one of these surprises that they held back from the announcements because they don't have it quite working yet, and they didn't want to show it yet. But I'm hopeful.
That would be really
That's actually a very good point that we should mention here. That Frontier hasn't released everything yet, which will be in the next update. So that's like they told us at Frontier Expo, it's sort of like 50% what's in the update.
Nice.
Jesus.
It's exciting.
that actually makes me really happy because I keep telling people who, if you're upset with the update and you're not happy with it, just remember we haven't seen the patch notes yet.
Right.
So if you see people upset, we haven't seen the full patch notes. So sit back, relax your butt.
Can we expect to see at least one more like community stream from like Ed and Bo?
That's basically what they said before the update goes live. They will have streams where they announce more stuff.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
They'll be clarifying information, I think, in either the community feeds or the community streams.
For starters, they haven't showed us any like building pieces at all, and I find it incredibly hard to believe that they will release this update without a single building piece in it. So.
The employee room, is that a blank box like the other stalls, or is it?
Yeah,
I couldn't tell if that was just like a stall or if it was pre-designed like that. Because I was a little bit concerned.
I think it's a 4-meter, a little bit like the first aid, and then you can probably theme it.
Okay,
however,
cool. That's fine.
However you
That's
wish.
Fine. Awesome.
So we're looking at the flat ride. Yeah, can we talk about how it has an operator, like an actual operator booth on it?
Can we talk about picnic benches first, please?
Oh, damn it, fine.
There's picnic benches in the video game. It's about time, and we need them. Thank you. Great. Okay, goodbye.
It was a little bit silly that they would buy a bucket of chicken and walk around holding a bucket of chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was kind of silly.
Also, it's a little bit silly that the burgers are literally the size of their face, and somehow they hold it with one hand and walk without a wrapper around it. But you know, that's a different story.
It's a good deal.
Yeah,
really big burger, man. I've had some good burgers that you pick up and it falls apart, especially with one hand. Like
they're very skilled, practiced eaters.
Exactly.
I had a really good burger at PAX. It was delicious. It was just like this massive, amazing burger. But there's no way in hell you could carry that thing with.
This video is definitely going to be an hour, by the way.
Yeah. I'm trying to speed it up real quick. So, flat ride.
Operator booth looks cool. Cover. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Operator, can you help me?
This actually looks like it's based off old style carnival rides. I think it's either a caterpillar ride or one of those. But it also actually has an alternate mode with the cover going over, which is kind of cool to see them adding that kind of functionality to it.
I imagine that's going to be a sequence, like we have the ride sequencer, we can turn that on or off.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just really like the artwork on that ride.
I totally dislike the ride, not the ride itself, but it's funfair again.
It's too themed for you? It's too themed?
It's way too themed. Yeah. And I think they mentioned that on the live stream as well. That's based off in funfair ride and everything. And it's for my taste, it's too funfair.
For flat rides in Planet Coaster, we do have a very large variety of funfair rides, which is great for me because I keep building funfairs. But I do fully understand why that is frustrating to people who want to build larger, more permanent theme parks versus little carnival-esque things.
Yeah, that thing looks like it's straight out of a circus. Like the covering just screams like circus. The colors and the shapes and everything. It's just.
I would love to see a future skin for it. They just take it and like maybe redo it in another theme, maybe similar to like that kind of the gears of the steampunk themed one, or maybe even sci-fi, or maybe it's something a little bit more generic, take the roof off of it and just like strip it down at some point. I would like to see that in the future, but for right now, I mean, it is what it is, and I understand if it's not good.
And spoilers, when they do add that, because they hopefully will, let us choose the skin through a drop down, like we can change the coaster cars now.
Nice spoiler.
Please don't let me have to delete the ride and replace the ride.
So the next thing that's kind of coming up is like a water coaster, which has...
I love this coaster, by the way. It's not super useful. It's not, you know, the most amazing or intense ride, but it's unique. And, you know, people have been asking for water rides.
This was a needed ad, definitely.
Like, this is in all of the old classic games. And for me, I think it's a very valuable part of Planet
What
Coaster.
we are seeing here is basically you can use it as water coaster, but it looks like you can use it as a boat ride as well, some sort of. You know what I mean?
You wanna make a roller coaster? You make a roller coaster. You wanna make the Jungle Cruise? You make the Jungle Cruise. It's up to you. I don't know where that accent came from.
So one thing I do want to point out is they're justifying kind of the coaster limitations. It looks like it can go close to 90 degrees roll, and it can definitely go quite steep by the drops that we see. So it looks like we're going to have quite a lot of freedom as far as using that for whatever people want to do creatively with that.
As we should be. We should be able to make whatever we want. Okay, wait, real talk. Were they wearing new clothes? They're wearing like new pants. She had like leopard print pants on. I swear I've never seen those in the game before.
Sorry, I'm not so familiar with the pants of the peeps over there. You're the fashion expert here.
Wow, okay. I'm just saying I think she had new pants on, that's all.
Looking at this ride makes me excruciatingly happy because this is actually my favorite ride from RCT2. I realize that the side friction coaster isn't the biggest, craziest coaster in the world. I realize it's not the most modern coaster in the world, but at least for me, it's a portion of roller coaster history, which I do think is important. There's very few left, and the way a lot of people these days are going to see these rides are through these games, which I think is not, you know, the most important thing in the world. Like but at the same time, it is history about theme parks, which, say what you will about it, you know, everybody wants the modern rides, but I think having the base of history and the base of everything is a good thing, and I'm very, very glad that, if nothing else, we got another wooden track.
And it's a case that with some of these older rides, we can kind of imply a permanence and like almost a old style to the park. We can use these rides to say these was kind of the starting rides, then they got the new stuff.
By the way, who's screaming in your background, Fuck?
Give me a sec. They can hear you, by the way. They can hear you.
Special guest star.
Special guest star, my mum. We're recording something.
That was right.
That does not make the cut, please.
That's going to be the intro. So we can edit cars on coaster tracks now.
Oh my god, who knew? So, by the way, Frontier, sorry again.
Yeah, this is a game changer. This is going to be super cool. I'm looking to the future now and seeing that they're saying, oh yeah, you can just put any car on any track. I'm hoping that in the future we'll just get like maybe even packs of tracks or various skins or like even a sponsored pack. And people don't need to complain because, oh, this is the only way I can use this one coaster and it has this really silly car on it. Like, I want them to go silly. I want hot dog cars. You know, I want Chief Beef cars.
And the interesting things that could become of this is you have, as you said, you just have these new cars and they work on every single track. But also some of the previous ones continue to work on alternate tracks. For example, like, you can have a B&M launch coaster now. For example, like the Incredible Hulk, you could put that on a launch coaster. It opens up the possibilities.
Yeah, I think a lot of the coaster nerds will be triggered as hell by that, but yeah.
That's fine. You know what? Let them be triggered as hell because they can't get between me and my fun.
Yeah, let people have fun playing a video game and let the nerds worry about the things that they are worried about, you know? Let me ask a stupid question that you guys probably know the answer to. So we have a scenario editor. Are we just editing parameters of like victory conditions, or can we apply our scenario conditions to a map? So we can build a map and then add scenario conditions to the map and then upload the map. So is it like a map editor and a scenario editor combined?
I'm unsure if you can apply the parameters to previous scenarios, but the parameters that you can control, it's very in-depth. You can do stuff from finances. You can control how many objectives, or even custom objectives. In some of the slides that we did see at the presentation at FX, it was, I think, a silver win condition was something like catch 10 pickpockets. So it seems like there are going to be quite a few parameters that we can use to make very customizable scenarios.
Can we add a condition like catch 10 pickpockets before the end of year 1? Or you lose.
That's a good point. I think we haven't seen enough of that.
So mainly, my first question actually was like, can you edit the map and then upload it as a like, can I make a roller coaster that's like 90% done, and then upload it and have the scenario be make a station that looks cool for this coaster? Okay.
If I got them right, yes. So I think we are done with this episode.
I think we'll do something a little bit more in depth later down the line, but this has been fun.
Exactly.
I hope that everybody who went to FX had a lot of fun, and I hope that everybody had safe travels home.
Gosh, it was so exhausting. But anyway.
I don't think you've slept yet.
No, actually, I came home like 5 minutes before we started recording.
Good God.
So Adfo's going to bed, and we're...
Let's wrap up.
Well, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Take care.
Follow Schematics.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.